Significant player in aquaculture feeds, aqua healthcare, and the seafood processing industry, as they announce their foray into the pet food industry with the launch of their new brand, Carniwel. This strategic diversification into pet food industry reflects Growel Group's commitment to expanding its product portfolio and leveraging its expertise in animal nutrition to cater to the growing demand of highly quality nutritious pet food. The pet food industry has experienced remarkable growth in the recent years, and Carnival is poised to make a significant impact among pet parents. To share more about Growel Group and the launch of Carnival, I would like to warmly welcome Mr. M.S.R. Karthik, promoter of Growel Group, and Mr. J.S. Ramakrishna, business head of Growel Pet Nutrition, on the dais. I would like to invite Mr. Karthik and Mr. Ramakrishna to take us through the remarkable journey of the Growel Group and provide us with an exclusive introduction to our exciting new brand, Carnival. Please join me in welcoming them.
So Growel Group started in 1994 by my grandfather, late Dr. M.S. Rangachari. He used to work in the human pharma sector before getting into the animal nutrition sector. And then in 1994, at his 60th year, he started a company called Growel Formulations, which manufactures aqua healthcare supplements. And seeing the success of that company, we started a company called Growel Feeds in 2008, promoted by my father, Mr. MVN Seshachari, and Mr. PS Narendra, Mr. Sudhir, and Mr. Srinivas. And then in 2015, we started Growel Processors, which processes shrimp and fish and then exporting to other countries. And so on a group level, we are about 2,000 crore. And then we've been in the industry for the last 30 years. And then we have a force, associates of around 2,000 plus, all the three companies put together. And we are impacting 3 lakh farmers' livelihood in the aquaculture with these 3 companies. And then we are present in 173 districts, and we have 6 manufacturing facilities, all the 3 companies put together. And all the facilities of ours are ISO certified, halal certified, HACCP, and then we have DSIR recognized R&D lab, and then we are exporting to 25 plus countries at this point in time. Our feeds, our healthcare, and then the seafoods. And I would like to, ask Mr. R.K. Ramakrishna to take you over from here and then explain how the pet food trends are there in the market and regarding our brand and what we have done specific to this brand. How are we seeing this brand in the future in the Indian market and elsewhere? Thank you.
This is also something that's going to move through. Increase in purchase frequencies are going to happen, increase in spends per order. All of these things will essentially drive the numbers. So if we talk about pet care, currently a few numbers which we thought would be relevant is that in the top 100 urban cities, pet care or pet adoption is still only 8% of India. Now, if you were to compare with international, the US kind of markets, US is about a 40-45% pet adoption. So 1 in every 2 houses currently have a pet in the US. Even a country like China, which is comparable to us in terms of demographics, in terms of space, compactness and all, even China is sitting at around a 20% adoption for pets, which means there's a headroom for growth there. A second thing is also that in terms of calorie penetration, which is essentially pet food penetration, still only about 20%, sub 20%. Even a country like Brazil, which is similar to India in terms of geographies, it's at that stage of evolution which is similar to India, slightly behind India. Even they have close to about a 70% of calorie penetration, which means 70% of the pets in that country are actually on pet food, on organized pet food. So the headroom is, there's a lot of headroom to go, which barely scratching the surface. And for the next decade or so, we expect the pet food industry to grow by at least a 20% year on year. And in the next 4, thank you very much.
With this, I would like to open the session for question and answer round. May I request the reporters to raise their hands so that we can hand over the mics and take the questions one by one.
I'll answer the first one. So we've tried to get the pricing as low as possible. So what we've done is we've been essentially working on these superfoods. Now, because we already do close to about 300 or 1,000 tons of aqua, and most suppliers, about 90% of suppliers are common, it allows us a great scale in terms of when we're negotiating with a supplier for a higher quality ingredient. In comparison, all other pet foods in India do about 40-50,000 tons, where premium nutrition is a smaller subset of their food, which allows us a great competitiveness. So we managed to get the price point as low as possible, so without compromising on the nutrition. So we've come to a point where we've kind of built the product essentially. So if we were to talk about, let's say, one ingredient, let's Antarctic krill. Now, Antarctic krill has to be sourced from the northern seas. It's not, there's only one supplier or one area where you can source it from, and it's also sourced very sustainably. So these are these ingredients which we've not compromised on. Now, price point, yes, we agree, but we also believe the right amount of nutrition is something which is very important. That's where we didn't want to compromise on what nutrition is possible. We are offering a product which is essentially at par or slightly ahead of even the premium brands in India currently, and we are almost at about a 50 to 60% of the price point. So others, yes, but still, if you want to talk about, it's slightly more costlier than the pedigrees and the Drews of the world, to take a couple of names. But again, the nutrition is something which, it's essentially something which will help us have the pets healthier, happier, which will also keep us healthier and happier longer. And that's essentially the underlying philosophy with which we started working on. Now, regards the health concerns and regarding quality. So we have a large quality team in place already. These are challenges which have existed, and we have a quality assurance team in place, which is a large team. And since we also export to the European Union, the Middle East, and the US, and all of these are stringent on this, we already have checks and balances among each of these things. We, in fact, even do salmonella and bacterial contamination, so expose it to abuse of weather to understand whether the product's going to, what was the product's reaction going to be. And we worked on ensuring that this quality there are about 10 point or 12 point, I do not remember the exact number, 10 to 12 point quality assurance guidelines which are followed, and it takes about 5 to 8 days before the product is released for packing. So that's the kind of extensiveness which the brand's currently using on this.
So,
what's the market size?
Yeah, I'll add on to the point which RK was mentioned, just to bit on the quality. So you'll have to understand the point that aqua feeds, which is shrimp and fish feed, is a very what do you call? Yeah, it's a very sensitive animal. So when you are trying to give a better nutrition for those kind of animals, you have to have n number of checks and balances in terms of quality, ingredients, and everything. And we are trying to have that DNA into this pet nutrition as well. And as far as the ingredients are concerned, what RK was telling is bang on right. So since we produce a large quantities of feed, right? So we have that economies of scale in terms of pricing. And as he was mentioning, the problem statement what we had in front of us when we started this journey is that how are we going to give the best premium feed to our cats and dogs, the food, at a reasonably well placed price point. Because we understand when you're trying to give a very good premium feed, right? You cannot give it a very low price, then you'll have to compromise on the quality. So not very pricey, not very low, the best optimal pricing and a very superior quality premium food. That was a price. I mean, that was a question that we had in front of us when we start this journey, and then that's how we put together the formula. And coming to your metal detector, that kind of a question, right? So we have a separate line in the production facility where we, put all kinds of, checks, where we check for E. coli, Salmonella, all the other kinds of check, and then metal detectors are placed in the line just to check where if it's present in the animal, and we also do DNA tests and all these things just to see that our food is adhering to all the standards that we are claiming on the bag. And if you also see, and I think RK must have mentioned in the presentation, we're also claiming that our food is 100% pure, and it comes with the DNA test that we have done, and then we are claiming that with 100% surety. And we are also claiming that on the pack, no beef, no pork in the feed, in our pet food. Which is also, trying to, give some comfort to our Indian consumers, which they require at this point in time, is what we believe. So all checks and balances, all the things are taken care of in the production, and then we are trying to give the best quality food our Indian pet parent. Quantities, so largely at this point in time, it's only aqua feeds. So we will try and leverage that network to start our pet food exports. But after some point in time, after establishing the brand in the Indian market, we'll be looking at it at some a point in time. Not very late, but soon we'll try and look into that as well. For the
Pet food in India is close to about currently is about 3,000 crores, which is we're currently starting we're launching currently on the product.
we are taking baby steps. We'll see how it would go in the future.
So we intend to take about 8% of the market by 2030. That's the ambition we're working with. Currently, we are evaluating options, but nothing concrete on that, because we need to also understand there has to be a market for us to also offer the premium nutrition. Of course, there are companion pets where the demand is there, but now if you look at, we started with ornamental fish, and ornamental fish is actually one of those first ones which is there. I mean, while we talk about 2-3 breeds, we also have koi, we also have this thing, and just to talk about why we could actually speed, and even though we say it's 2.5 years we've spent, we still think it was faster, because the ornamental fish actually gave us a lot of base for us to work and understand. Because those fish, there are some feeds which are top feeders, some which are bottom feeders, and some for which the food has to be in the middle, which means there has to be different density of the kibble, and that's something we've been working on. Also on the quality, just to add an additional point on this, is that we've also spent a lot of time and effort to ensure that the kibbles also quickly rehydratable. We've taken international. We rehydrate in sub 5 minutes. That's something which we can claim on. So the starter food, which is the normal way of how the people feed, and we're at par with everyone else. The densities, we've tested the densities. So we're benchmarked ourselves with the premium most brands, and we've held our ground on every one of them. And we've tested it extensively in the market to understand how the palatability has been. Because for a dog, it's not just about the taste of it. It's the smell, it's the texture, it's the crunch which the dog has to feel. And each of these play a parameter in how the dog's going to, dog or cat for that matter, work on deciding whether they want to eat it or not. And cats, for example, if someone has a cat, they would know that they're very picky. And a cat, if it doesn't like the crunch, you would leave it. So that's what has taken us 4-5 months to work on. Field trials have essentially gone close to about 1 year plus in terms of production trials, and we've spent extensive amount of time and effort, and of course money to perfect these things up.
So I think we had a discussion. You were there last time when we had a yeah. So as I'm trying to we'll stick on to the same point. So we intend to invest around 100 crores in the next 5 years in this segment, and then we will see how our business would grow.
And that's also because we are leveraging a lot of our existing understanding. So a lot of manpower we're going to push into the pet industry. There are, because we're already existing customers, we already have the land banks for all of this. We're not accounting for a lot of these costs. So that's essentially why we able to get this into this 100 CR. Otherwise, if we were to club the rest of them, the cost would be far higher. Our facility, the pet food production is happening in Singaraipalam, which is in Andhra Pradesh. The capacity of the plant is about 400,000 tons. So there are, the 400,000 tons is essentially currently entirely on the aqua part of it, and we're utilizing more than 70% of that.
So 60 would be the optimal utilization. And as far as this pet food is concerned, we have recently set up the lines, and then we have just started producing the pet food, right? So utilization would be too early, and then we will get to that point. So we have set up new lines for this, and then.
Do you
Yeah.
have any special collaboration with retailers such as Ratnadeep, Spencer's for sales or?
So I can't find this. Yes, sir.
Do you have any collaboration with retailers like Ratnadeep, Spencer's?
Currently, we are working on it. So it's still too early for us. We've started conversations with just getting a modern trade team ready, and we would be shortly present in by October and November. We would start being present in all these stores around. Sir, we are not putting a number on that currently because we still think, see, pet food, the challenge is pets are creatures of habit. So what they used to, they would not shift away from unless something drastically different happens. And so it's difficult for us to put a number there. What we're doing, however, is we're working on placement across. We want to ensure we're present in 4,000 to 5,000 outlets by March. We want to do an assortment, so we want at least about 20 to 30% of our SKUs to be present in each of them. Currently, we are launching 42. We would by November end, we would have. Everything is dry.
Everything is dry.
Yeah, wet is something we'll launch in January, February, because that is when the season actually starts kicking off. Because as summers keep coming, that's when the wet range starts working. So we're still in conversations. We're still working on the formulation of that. We'll perfect that, and then essentially we'll keep you guys posted on when we launch the wet range as always. Yes,
India basis?
Yes, we are currently we present. I mean, we present right from Trivandrum till Kashmir. We also have outlets in there. We're also present in Guwahati. We're also present in Surat. We're present in Indore, which is the middle. So let's not forget the middle while we talk about the extremes. So we're present in all close to about 200 cities currently. In about currently we're close to about 800 to 1,000 outlets currently. We want to expand that footprint to about 4,000 by March. Yeah, I mean, see, the reason for home cooked food is twofold. One is either the price points are too high, which at the current moment we may not be able to address. And that's still an 80% of India. About 80+% of India is still on home cooked food. The second, which we believe is also a significant cause and which has a business case, is the vegetarianism angle. Is that because you are a vegetarian, you would not want. So we were addressing this fact now. The price point is something which we will have to again see, work around, because we don't want to compromise on the quality. We want to offer the finest possible quality possible, and essentially build a brand which provides the super premium products without pinching the pockets. You know, a product which is currently available at 1,000 rupees, I want to launch that product at a 500 rupee price point. That's essentially what our aspiration is.
First Telugu.
ఓకే మీ ఇద్దరం తెలుగండి
సో గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ ఎవ్రీవన్. సో ఇవాళ ఈ ఈవెంట్ కార్నివెల్ లాంచ్ ఈవెంట్ జరిగింది. సో మీకు బ్రీఫ్గా చెప్పాలి అంటే గ్రోవెల్ గ్రూప్ అనేది 30 ఏళ్ళ నుంచి ఆక్వాకల్చర్ ఇండస్ట్రీలో ఉంది. ఆక్వా హెల్త్ కేర్, ఆక్వా ఫీడ్ అండ్ సీ ఫుడ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ చేస్తున్న సంస్థ. అండ్ దెన్ ఇవాళ మేము కార్నివల్ అనే పెట్ ఫుడ్ బ్రాండ్ లాంచ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. మేము ఈ స్ట్రాటజిక్ డైవర్సిఫికేషన్ చేసాము, ఎందుకంటే 30 ఏళ్ళ నుంచి మాకు ఈ ఇండస్ట్రీలో ఉండడం వల్ల మాకు యానిమల్ న్యూట్రిషన్ అవగాహన బాగా వచ్చింది. దానివల్ల మేము ఈ సెగ్మెంట్లోకి ఎంటర్ అవ్వడం జరిగింది. సో మేము ఈ పెట్ ఫుడ్ అనేది యుఎస్ఏలో ఉన్న టాప్ పెట్ న్యూట్రిషనిస్ట్తో కొలాబరేట్ అయ్యి వాళ్ళతో న్యూట్రిషన్ ఫార్ములేషన్ తీసుకుని దాన్ని ఇండియన్ స్టాండర్డ్స్కి అడాప్ట్ చేసి లాంచ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. అండ్ ఇప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ మేము లాస్ట్ 8 నెలల ముందే మేము పెట్ ట్రీట్స్ బ్రాండ్ లాంచ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. మేము ఆల్రెడీ ఇంటాన్ అన్న ఆర్నమెంటల్ ఫిష్ ఫీడ్ బ్రాండ్ కూడా లాంచ్ చేసాము. అండ్ దానివల్ల మాకు మంచి ప్రెజెన్స్ వచ్చింది పెట్ అవుట్లెట్స్లో అక్రాస్ ద కంట్రీ. సో దాన్ని మేము లెవరేజ్ చేసుకుని ఈ కార్నివల్ బ్రాండ్ కూడా లాంచ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. అండ్
కార్నివల్ అన్నది ఎసెన్షియల్లీ సో కార్నివల్ అన్నది మేము లాంచ్ చేయడానికి ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు మేము కూడా పెట్ లవర్స్ చాలా కాలం నుంచి, నేను ఇంట్లో ఆల్మోస్ట్ 20 ఏళ్ళ నుంచి పెట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో వాటికంటూ ఒక ప్రీమియం న్యూట్రిషన్, ఎందుకంటే కోవిడ్ తర్వాత పెట్స్తో ఒక బాండింగ్ పెరిగింది. అవి ఇంటి బయట నుంచి ఇంటి లోపలికి చాలా మటుకు వచ్చాయి. సో అందరికీ ఇప్పుడు దాంట్లో ప్రీమియం న్యూట్రిషన్ ఒకటి కావాలి, ఇంకేం పెడుతున్నారు, క్వాలిటీ ఎలా ఉంది ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ గురించి అన్న ఒక థాట్ నాకు పెరుగుతోంది. సో దాని గురించి ఒకసారి అందుకని చెప్పి మేము వీ స్టార్టెడ్ వర్కింగ్ ఆన్ ద ప్రోడక్ట్. ఫార్ములేషన్ చేసి 3 ఏళ్ళ నుంచి ప్రోడక్ట్ ఫార్ములేషన్ చేసి దాన్ని ఇండియన్ కంటెక్స్ట్లోకి దాన్ని బిల్డ్ చేసి అది ఇప్పుడు లాంచ్ చేసి ఎక్స్టెన్సివ్గా గత 5-6 నెలలుగా మేము అది ట్రయల్స్ చేసి ఆల్మోస్ట్ 90% ప్లస్ పెలెటబిలిటీ వచ్చిన తర్వాత మేము సాటిస్ఫై అయిన తర్వాత దెన్ అది మార్కెట్లోకి లాంచ్ చేసాం. కార్నివెల్లో ఇండియాలో ఇప్పటివరకు ఎవరు చేయనట్టు ఫ్రెష్ మీట్ అన్నది ఒకటి వాడుతున్నాము ఇంటూ దిస్. సో దాంతో మీకు దాని పెట్టుకున్న ప్రిఫరెన్స్, అది డాగ్స్ కానివ్వండి క్యాట్స్ కానీ వాటికి ఉన్న ప్రిఫరెన్స్ పెరుగుతుంది. రెండోది వచ్చేసి వెజిటేరియన్ అన్న ఆ రేంజ్ అనేది అసలు ఇండియాలో లేదు. అండ్ ఇండియాలో 30% ఇండియా వెజిటేరియన్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు వెజిటేరియన్స్కి వాళ్ళ ఇళ్ళల్లో ఉన్న పెట్స్కి అసలు ఏది లేకపోవడంతో వాళ్ళందరూ ఇంట్లో ఉన్న ఫుడ్డే పెడుతున్నారు. సో అదొక సోర్స్ ఉంది, అదే ఒకటి కవర్ చేద్దామని చెప్పి ఒకటి లాంచ్ చేయడం జరిగింది.
సార్ ఎన్ని ప్లాంట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, మ్యాన్ పవర్ ఎంత ఉంది?
ప్రొడక్షన్ వచ్చేసి సింగరాయపాలెంలో, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో సింగరాయపాలెంలో మా ప్లాంట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అక్కడే మేము ప్రొడక్షన్ చేస్తాం. దానికోసం సెపరేట్గా పెట్ ఫుడ్ కోసం సెపరేట్ లైన్స్ చేసి అక్కడే ప్రొడక్షన్ చేస్తున్నాము. గ్రూప్ పరంగా అయితే ఆల్మోస్ట్ 2,000+ ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఉన్నారు. మేము ఆల్రెడీ 3 లక్షల ప్లస్ ఫార్మర్స్ మా ప్రోడక్ట్స్ వాడుతూ ఉంటారు దేశవ్యాప్తంగా. ఆల్సో ఒక 25 దేశాల వరకు ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేస్తున్నాము గ్రూప్లో. ఇవన్నిటిని మేము వాడి అది ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేద్దామని, ఇదే సోర్స్ మొత్తం వాడి మా ఫుడ్ని కూడా మేము ఇండియా నుంచి ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేద్దాం, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ నుంచి ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేద్దాము అన్న థాట్ తోటి లాంచ్ చేస్తాం. గ్రూప్ కరెంట్గా ఒక 2,000 కోట్ల వరకు టర్న్ ఓవర్ ఉంది గ్రూప్ది. అది పెట్ ఫుడ్ తోటి ఇంకా ఇప్పుడు కాదు కానీ 2030కి ఒక 500 కోట్ల వరకు పెట్ ఫుడ్ పోర్ట్ఫోలియో మాత్రమే ఉండేటట్టు ప్లాన్ చేస్తున్నాము. దాని పరంగా మార్కెట్ బిల్డ్ చేస్తున్నాం.
ఇంకా వేరే కంట్రీస్లో కూడా ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ ప్లాన్ చేస్తున్నాం.
ఇప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ ఒక 25 కంట్రీస్కి మనం ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేస్తున్నామండి మన ఆక్వా ఫీడ్. సో ఇప్పుడు ఆయన చెప్పినట్టుగా మనం దాన్ని బేస్ కింద పెట్టుకుని, ఎందుకంటే ఈ కంట్రీస్ వచ్చేసి మీకు మీనా రీజియన్స్ కానివ్వండి, యూఎస్ఏలో EU రీజియన్ కానివ్వండి, వీటన్నిటిలో మనం ఆల్రెడీ చేస్తున్నాం, మనం ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం మన కరెంట్ పోర్ట్ఫోలియో. దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకుని ఇప్పుడు ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ కూడా మనం చేయడానికి చూస్తాం రాబోయే నెలల్లో. సో దాన్ని బట్టి ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ పోర్ట్ఫోలియో కూడా బిల్డ్ చేస్తాం ఈ పెట్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
హలో హాయ్ అందరికీ నమస్కారం, నేను మీ లక్ష్మి మంచు. సో you're watching me on City Light E-News. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe.
హాయ్ అండి, నేను మెల్ల నరేష్ మాట్లాడుతున్నాను. ప్లీజ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టు సిటీ లైట్స్ ఈ న్యూస్.
Hello everybody, Andarki Namaskaram. This is Anasuya Bharadwaj. Please subscribe to City Light E-News. Thank you.
Please subscribe to City Light E-News.
Hello, నేను మీ రాశి సింగ్. సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టు సిటీ లైట్.
హలో గైస్, నేను మీ అశ్విని. సో సిటీ లైట్ ఈ న్యూస్కి సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి. ఇక్కడ చాలా మంచి ఎక్స్క్లూజివ్ కంటెంట్ దొరుకుతుంది మీకైతే. సో గో అండ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ ఈ న్యూస్ సిటీ లైట్.
హాయ్, నేను శ్యామల. ప్లీజ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ సిటీ లైట్ ఈ న్యూస్.
అశ్విన్ బాబు మాట్లాడుతున్నాను. ప్లీజ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టు సిటీ లైట్ న్యూస్.
హాయ్, ఐమ్ దిగంకన సూర్యవంశీ. ప్లీజ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టు సిటీ లైట్స్.